Breaking news! The 2025 NFL Draft is officially in the books, and it's safe to say the Miami Dolphins made some very intriguing late-round moves. The atmosphere behind the scenes at the Dolphins is heating up, and I have some important things to break down for you. We all know the goal is the Super Bowl, but for Mike McDaniel to get there, he's going to need a quality roster built around smart coaching decisions. And here's the hard truth. Chris Grier should have been fired a long time ago. Yet here we are, still stuck with him steering the ship during one of the most critical off-seasons in franchise history. Already a lot to unpack, and I'm about to get into it. But before we continue, make sure you smash that like button, but only if you're a true, die-hard Miami Dolphins fan. And if you are, drop a comment, Go Dolphins! We can make the Super Bowl. Let's dive straight into it because what Miami did on day 3 of the draft is stirring up a lot of chatter. 5 players, Jason Marshall, Dante Trader, Ollie Gordon II, Quinn Ewers, and Zeke Biggers. Each pick carries risk and potentially reward, but some moves here left more questions than answers, especially considering how much McDaniel will have to squeeze development out of raw prospects. Starting with Jason Marshall at pick 150, a former 5-star recruit from the University of Florida. No doubt about his athletic gifts, size, physicality, linear explosiveness, all traits that scream NFL cornerback. But let's be honest, Marshall has always been a boom or bust prospect. Injuries haunted him in college, missing 5 games in 2024 with a shoulder issue, and while he led Florida in pass breakups for 2 seasons, his tape reveals troubling inconsistencies. Eye discipline issues, poor spatial awareness against route combinations, and while he plays physically in press coverage, there are serious questions about his reliability as a tackler and run defender. Frankly, there's a real chance he never sees meaningful snaps for the Dolphins defense unless Anthony Weaver and the staff perform a miracle. Right after that came Dante Trader at pick 155, a name that might end up sticking around longer than people expect. Originally a lacrosse player at Maryland before switching fully to football, Trader is a physical, downhill safety with strong instincts against the run. His coverage skills? Definitely under construction. He's more athlete than technician right now. But the silver lining, he's a 4-phase special teams monster. Dante has real functional athleticism even if his testing numbers don't jump off the charts. Think of him like a souped-up version of Patrick McMorris from last year's draft, someone who might not be flashy, but brings immediate value in special teams and sub-packages. And with Miami lacking a true do-it-all third safety, Trader could fight his way onto the final 53. Now, let's talk about the pick that's already got fans arguing. Ollie Gordon II, 6th-round selection but definitely no ordinary prospect. Standing 6 feet 1 3/8 inches and weighing 226 pounds, Gordon is a massive human being for a running back. This dude steamrolled defenses in 2023 with 1,732 rushing yards at Oklahoma State, earning unanimous All-American honors and the Doak Walker Award. He's not a home run hitter in the traditional speed sense, ran a 4.61 40-yard dash, but Gordon's violent running style, elite pass protection skills, and physicality fit a new, gritty theme Miami seems to be pursuing offensively. It's pretty clear the Dolphins are moving toward a more physical running game. Gordon, combined with new additions like Larry Borom, Nick Westbrook-Akine, and Pharaoh Brown, points to a philosophical shift away from pure outside zone schemes. They're gearing up to run more gap, duo, and power concepts. Short yardage woes last season could now be solved by simply handing the ball to Gordon and letting him bulldoze defenses. Finally, a big back. And best of all, sources close to Gordon said he wore his Dolphins hat all day during draft day. This man wanted to be in Miami. That's the kind of energy you want on this team. Then there's the quarterback pick, Quinn Ewers, 7th-round flyer. On one hand, you get why they did it. There are clear overlaps between Steve Sarkisian's offense at Texas and McDaniel's scheme. Quick release, RPO familiarity, play-action prowess. But let's not sugarcoat it. Ewers was wildly inconsistent in college. In big moments, when Texas needed him most, he came up small. Durability concerns are another huge red flag, having battled injuries throughout high school and 3 years in Austin. His pressure management is bad, his decision-making under duress is worse, and while he's got a slick arm, there's a reason he fell this far. Bottom line, Ewers is a lottery ticket. Miami isn't betting on him becoming the franchise. They're hoping we never have to see him on the field at all, because that would mean disaster struck either Tua Tagovailoa or Zach Wilson. Finally, closing out the draft was Zeke Biggers, a 6 feet 5 inches, 320-pound behemoth from Georgia Tech with an absurd 85-inch wingspan and a ridiculous 34.5-inch vertical for a man his size. There's not much pass rushing juice here, but as a developmental nose tackle and special teams field goal blocking specialist, intriguing. Biggers blocked 4 kicks during his college career, and with Miami thin at true nose tackle behind Jordan Phillips, he has a real shot to carve out a niche. Overall, the Dolphins' late-round draft haul is filled with athletes, size, and upside, but carries major developmental risks. No surefire stars here. And once again, Greer made some questionable calls that could easily blow up if the coaching staff can't mold these players into consistent contributors. The Dolphins didn't swing for sure things, they gambled on traits. Will this strategy finally pay off? What do you think, Dolphins fans? Do you trust Miami's coaching staff to develop these late-round players into impact contributors, or did Chris Greer drop the ball yet again? Let me know in the comments. The truth is, if you look at the Dolphins' late-round draft choices from a broader perspective, this entire group feels like a reflection of desperation and hope colliding. Jason Marshall, Dante Trader, Ollie Gordon II, Quinn Ewers, and Zeke Biggers. Each one of these picks represents Miami banking on their coaching staff's ability to extract the hidden potential that so many others passed over. It's not about taking the most polished players anymore. It's about chasing traits and dreaming big. But dreams alone won't win playoff games, and that's where the pressure starts building heavily. Let's keep it real. Jason Marshall has NFL starting caliber athleticism, no doubt. But the mental side of the game, the eye discipline, the ability to diagnose quickly, it's miles behind where it needs to be. If Miami can't fix that, and fix it fast, they'll be looking at another Noah Benigine situation. And Dolphins fans don't need another reminder of how painful a wasted top 150 pick can be, especially considering how thin the cornerback room is shaping up to be heading into 2025 with only nickelbacks offering any real proven production. Jason Marshall might become something, or he might be on the outside looking in by the end of training camp. That's the razor-thin line this team is walking with these picks. Moving to Dante Trader, the more you dig into his story, the more you want him to succeed. This is a smart, tough, fundamentally sound player who isn't flashy but could quietly build a career as a valuable depth safety and special teams ace. But again, it's projection. You're hoping the jump in athletic focus, from being a dual-sport athlete at Maryland to being a full-time NFL safety, unleashes another level of development. There's no guarantee. There's hope, and hope, while fun, has burned Dolphins fans countless times before. Now, Ollie Gordon II, arguably the pick with the highest upside of the bunch. He's got the production, the frame, and the mean streak to immediately impact Miami's short yardage and goal line situations. And let's be honest, watching the Dolphins get bullied in the trenches during must-win games last season was embarrassing. Ollie brings a nasty, downhill running style that the current room was missing. But here's the catch. McDaniel has to commit to using him properly. If they stubbornly try to shoehorn Gordon into an outside zone-heavy scheme without adapting the offense to his strengths, it will be another wasted asset. Think back to how Jordan Howard was misused. Nobody wants to see that movie again. McDaniel's system flexibility is now going to be tested like never before. If he really is the genius many claim him to be, we'll see it through how he adjusts to players like Gordon.